Yoga! 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 Hello, grapplers. How are you guys doing? Welcome to another video. Today we're gonna talk about this guy. That guy. Dhalsim. So Dhalsim is a very mobile character. My general idea for you in this matchup is understanding that Dhalsim will escape at some point. Don't try to force the neutral, don't try to get in too much. If he goes away, you have to understand that. This is a matchup where you have to catch this guy. And he will move, he will back jump, he will teleport, he will slide. Also, you have to block a lot here. So your drive meter will mostly be spent on blocking. You can sometimes go in, go hard, throw Dhalsim 24/7. Other times, specifically if the Dhalsim knows the matchup, he will stay in the air a lot. He will teleport at some point, especially covered by the fireball, by the Yoga Arch or the Yoga Fire, and that is something you have to understand. Let's start with the strengths. Dhalsim is very good at poking, not necessarily poking here. He's mostly like a poke away type of character. He has some command normals that are very specifically for combos, and Standing Light Punch is one of his best pokes when he's point blank, but otherwise he's very good at just poking from afar. He has to stay either here in order to poke you, or here in order to bait a throw or anything. He has to be close. He will mostly stay here, specifically against Zangief, because he doesn't want to be thrown. He's gonna stay here, throw some fireballs, you know, bother you from here. And being mobile, he has a few tools. Specifically, crouching medium kick might be the best one. Otherwise, he's in the air, and this is important. In the air, he can, well, float. If he presses a button, he cannot float. That's important. And here, he can wait for a few seconds. He can teleport after the float, because the float doesn't reset the action. He can take an action before the float. He's gonna be here, maybe whoop, 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 something like that. He will stay very mobile in the air, because Zangief has issues trying to catch Dhalsim when he's in the air. Or he can stay in the air a little bit by using the fireballs. And probably teleport and throw a fireball. Because after teleporting, he can do one more action. And that can be a button. For example, he floats. Boom. Button. I'd say that is mostly it, because he's not a very damaging kind of character. He has some good combos, but his game plan is mostly poking. So the weaknesses, he's poking, as you can see here, like the long pokes, 12 frames with 18 frames of recovery, 19 frames of recovery, 14 frames of startup, only 3 active frames, and 4 active frames, but 27 frames of recovery. You might have guessed by now, his buttons are not necessarily the best at this range, since he can be easily whiff punished. Even full screen. Sometimes if he goes for the wrong button, like this one, a lot of characters can punish really hard. Zangief is not one of them, but you can do a few things. But this range is the worst for Dhalsim. He never wants to be here, and you'll notice that. They will automatically teleport to create space. If there's a fireball on the screen, they might want to go in, but then never here. They don't have good tools to be in this position. Maybe the only one, as I mentioned before, is crouching medium kick. He doesn't have the snipe anymore, so most of the time now he goes for fireballs or this button. He can't close rounds as he could in Street Fighter V. His lights are really bad in my opinion. He has only one 4-framer. This is it. Everything else is 5 frames, or this thing that is 4, but this thing is awful. Most of the time he's gonna poke with this or this. A single one is -1, and this is -2, and this thing is not close enough to throw you. He can after this. So Dhalsim players, when they drive rush, they usually go for something like this, or a light and then throw you. He can be 0, he can space this. But it's not something he can do very often, because as you can see here, this is 10 frames, so it's not a move he can just throw, and the actual sweep is 12 frames. Well, he has another one, but this has absolutely no range. He doesn't have the best drive rush buttons. Look at this range. Or this. He's not really that strong when poking. He's mostly like, I want to make you whiff and then punish you type of character. And his command normals, like back medium kick, back medium punch, are very specific. In fact, this is only an anti-air. It's rarely used outside of anti-airs, and this is mostly a combo filler. Where he excels at, as I mentioned before, is making you whiff, like a backdash, especially jumping. He loves to be in the air because that is one of his strengths. And also he has a very decent fireball game, not the best. His fireball game is not like Giles or JP where he can actually kill you with fireballs. His fireballs are mostly to set up a situation. Now let's see specifics. You can do that, and that is gonna be 45 frames because it's a punish counter. So very easily you can do at least 1 or 2 dashes. I would say that's the best thing you can go against that button. This is something you have to do in this matchup very often, which is walk and crouch. So you can make him whiff that standing hard kick. That standing hard kick can be punished by sweep if you're close enough, or by crouching medium punch. Like that. It's not like a huge punish and you can dry rush that, but depending on the distance, you're not gonna be close enough to create a combo. The rest of the buttons have to bait them by walk and block, walk and block, walk and crouch block, I should say, like this. So you make them whiff things. And how do you get in? If you want to use a button, you can use knee. Knee is very important in this matchup. If you want to get in with something that covers you in front, because this thing has a really decent hitbox for 7 frames, all the active frames, you can do so. It's not weird for Zangief in this matchup to spam a little bit at the knee. See that? I stopped the standing medium punch with knee, so I'm +4 and I can start walking or even go for another knee. Now be careful, 34 frames is a huge number, so they can maybe throw 1 medium punch, just stop that medium punch with knee, and then they can wait for you to go for another knee. It's all about reading the situation, but remember, this button is gonna be used a lot here. Something like that. This is pretty common in this matchup, especially when you're waking up or in the poking game, since Dhalsim is not really scared at the beginning of the match, because when the match starts, he's in a really decent distance from Zangief. So he can go for fireballs, yoga arch, or yoga fireball and teleport. He can use the OD versions in order to create a situation where Zangief might try to walk back or try to jump, so he can anti-air. Always when there's a fireball on the screen, don't try to jump them. Most of the time you have to walk and block. So if you see a fireball, walk and block. Now, depending on the situation, you can perfect parry the fireball and dash in. Mostly prefer to block, because as you can see here, the damage to the dry gauge is minimal. And if you mistake the parry, he can just not do the teleport and wait. Be careful with the teleport, by the way. There. Remember, if he teleports to the other side, even though Zangief is looking to the right side, in this case, you have to block where Dhalsim is. So always consider where Dhalsim is. If he moves to the left side of the screen, you have to block right. Same if you're player 1, when he's in the right side of the screen, you have to block left. Yeah, hit in, walk, and block that freaking fireball. And thus you eliminate the biggest threat, which is the 50-50. Because if you don't go for the fireball and you don't block it, he can use the distance of the fireball to bait you into a grab. He can teleport early. The fireball is still on the screen, and he can throw you. But if you get hit by the fireball, the amount of hit stun doesn't allow Dhalsim to throw you. So that's the idea, to block it so he cannot throw you. So you eliminate that threat. And he has to go for buttons or try to bait you into doing something. But at least you're not thrown. And if he goes for the yoga arch, you can dash. Be careful though. Something like that. This is very specific. He won't go for that move that close, but if you see the yoga arch, you can dash and close the distance. This is not a jump heavy matchup. Usually if there's a fireball on screen, he will be ready to anti-air you with back hard punch, with one of his best anti-airs with back medium punch. So don't jump that much. Try to just walk carefully. Block crouching, so if he goes for a sweep or a standing hard kick, that move whiffs. So you can punish with this, And be ready with sweeps in case he gives maybe a standing medium kick. Or even the standing hard kick. If he whips that, you can go for the freaking sweep. And you can create a punish counter and get in. He's very weak to throws. You'll see here we're gonna use Wake Up Reversal with any teleport. Go for the medium one. Yeah. If you do your meaty perfectly, he cannot escape the throw. You will hit him when he tries to teleport. So the teleport is not that annoying as it was before. He cannot teleport this. Even though his teleport is not the best, now it is still pretty annoying. Because when he's in the air, he can't be grabbed, right? So it's very common for him to go for this teleport. So he won't be able to be grabbed. So very common to throw a fireball, air teleport, there. So how do you deal with that? If he goes for the air teleport to mix you up, something like this, Crouching Light Punch, well, hellstab too, but Crouching Light Punch is the best one. Puts him in a juggle state when he teleports. So what do I mean by that? Look at this. That punish counter, that thing is a juggle state. He's in a juggle state that you can abuse with Burst Dynamite. Oh yeah. If you're really good, you can read the teleport and go for hellstab, which is also pretty strong. Or Crouching Light Punch, super one. Especially if you, let's say you block the fireball and he goes for the a teleport for some reason, like he wants to bait a throw, you can use this thing into super one or Burst Dynamite. Another important thing with Dhalsim, he can create situations where you can whiff a throw. It's very common for him to go with a back jump. So how do you stop this? Hellstab is pretty good when he goes for this type of things. If you know he's abusing either backdash or jump back, use hellstab. So let's put this example into the lab. Right? Pretty common. Hellstab beats that. Also backdashing. If he goes for like 1 or 2 lights and backdashes, this also catches Dhalsim. Problem here, you have to read the situation. Maybe he won't do anything, or maybe he will parry. After 2 drive rushes, or after 1 drive rush, 2 lights, he will expect you to go for the hellstab, so he might parry that. So again, you have to read the situation, but usually if he goes for anything that involves back jump, backdash, hellstab will save you. Remember that he can teleport and he can float if he doesn't press anything. So if he's floating, that's cool. He can still do a button. If he teleports, then he has to do something because he falls straight down. So what do? Super 1 is invincible to fireballs. Well, also to buttons. If you see him jumping and floating, do 1 dash or walk to know where he's gonna, what he wants to do, to try to read Dhalsim. And when you see that he teleports, remember where he is. Remember what type of teleports he's using. Does he want to go front? The kick teleports always go in front. The strong teleports, I mean the punch teleports, are the ones that cross you up. So if he stays right here, be careful. Start walking. He doesn't have the best buttons, as you can see, to bother Zangief. If you walk, you're gonna be able to block all of these things. And none of them are really good. And when you see the teleport, that's the moment where you can react with Super 1. If you're in range, obviously. You're reading the situation. He cannot do that. He cannot do that. The Super 1 is not really that amazing, but in this matchup, if you're close and you read the situation, you can perfectly Super 1. Since he doesn't have the best reversals, except for one that we're gonna cover before I forget, he needs to go for movement. And once you stop that movement, you can grab him a lot, and you can also poke him a lot. He doesn't have the best tools for waking up. This is a character that most of the time will go for drive reversals, because he wants to create the distance. So if you read, remember, if you read any drive reversal that is -8, so you can go for strong SPD if you're close enough, medium SPD, or if you really want to hurt them, OD SPD. I don't recommend the OD moves in this matchup because you need the meter to block. You're gonna be blocking a lot. But yeah, if you block a drive reversal, go in, destroy Dhalsim with SPD or maybe crouching medium punch and go into a combo. Before I forget, the freaking Super 2 is another one of the reasons why you have to walk and crouch. If he goes for the super, you're standing, you will get hit. What do you do here? You can go for crouching medium punch and start a situation. Either crouching medium punch, hellstab lariat, crouching medium punch straight into super 2. Maybe you want to do a little more damage, you can crouching medium punch, hellstab super 2. You can do a bunch of things, but crouching medium punch, if you're close, is your best option. Otherwise, let's say I'm over here. Just sweep. Immediately. And that sweep is a punish come to. Ah. Or super. Yeah. Dhalsim's Super 1 and Super 3 are mostly combo enders. Rarely he reacts with those. Super 2 is like the go-to tool when he wants to wake up. This is not a bad idea. The problem is that he can control the time the fireball is on screen when he wakes up. If he holds the button and you mistake the timing, you can get hit by the fireball. So I think it's just better to go for the easy thing, specifically, and if you have low health, that might kill you if you don't block properly. So it's just better to go for the combo. Like, it's very easy to go for crouching medium punch into Super 2. But yeah, technically, if you wait for him to drop the super, you can grab him or go for... mostly grabs, because he recovers pretty fast. I think it's 9 frames. So don't think you'll go for headbutt or something like that. He recovers pretty fast once the fireball is on screen. So that's the reason why I prefer to just sweep or crouching medium punch, so you don't waste time. But that's mostly Dhalsim. It's a pretty annoying matchup. Remember, you have to walk, block, get in with a couple of knees, use your crouching medium punch, your sweeps. Remember where Dhalsim is on screen at all times. Go in and block the fireball. If he teleports too much, be ready for Super 1 or crouching light punch. Use your hellstab a lot. This will stop drills, some middies, some back jumps. So be ready for that, and be careful when going in. You don't want to be overzealous in this matchup, because he will anti-air, he will throw fireballs, he will try to grab you. But don't be that afraid, so he creates those situations. You have to let him know that you're not that scared. You know that you have to play this matchup slowly. And once you're getting, you can go for whatever you want, just be careful with Super 2. So always wait. If you're gonna wait in this matchup, wait crouching, just in case he wants to go for Super 2. Otherwise, just poke him to death. Let him know, grab him a lot. And just poke with lights. So you force the drive reversal and you can throw him. If you have any questions, let me know. I read all the comments I can and provide more context if you need something else from this matchup or any matchups. Remember that I'm streaming on Kerupu, twitch.tv, Kerupu with 2 P's. And I hope I can see you, and remember to subscribe. I always forget to say that. Yoga. I always forget to remind you guys to subscribe. And that's it. Thank you for being here. Have a great day, grapplers, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember to do the dance.